You're listening to littlepodcast.com. Y'all ready for this? Let's do the whole song.
Why you gotta take it there?
Retake. This isn't gonna work.
We're not talking about any integrity.
We are trying to exploit a generation.
Ever tell you about that time when I paid for Chinese food with the DVD? The grease is the gravy.
You guys played footsie under the table?
No, yes, that's irrelevant. I can smell Pepto-Bismol from here. It tastes like an antacid tablet. Why are there so many Draculas everywhere? No, there's vampires everywhere.
I don't know how the rest of it goes.
Yeah, no,
I just they ask if you're ready for this, and then that's all I remember from this song, because clearly I wasn't ready.
I think when they get to the end, they just say, "Are you ready for this again?" and start over again.
Okay, that's fair. We'll
They're
workshop
constantly wondering why you're ready for it. Are you ready for this? Are you?
Are you? Oh. Welcome to Born in the 80s, episode 208. I'm your host, John Rowe, joined by my co-host,
Adam Hamm.
I'm trying to say it as quickly as possible when I get to your voice, because I'm just trying to get the show started as quickly as possible. People can't wait for it to start. Can't wait. Adam, it's a week. It's we're at the Ides of March, have passed.
Yes.
Happy Austin 316 Day.
Yes.
That's when we're recording this, so I'm gonna have to swig of Dr. Pepper for the working man. Oh, that's good. Diet Dr. Pepper. It's my lifeblood. I don't know how I'd live without it. Every time I go to the Costco, I have to pick up a case.
Yeah.
The good shit. Yeah, I don't know. I like it. How has your week been? Adam, let's just delve into non-games, non-stuff. Adam, you had two notes of non-game things. I've had nothing happen to me outside of video games and news. So, what has happened with ye? Whichever one you want to start with, you go.
It's been kind of a sucky week.
Oh yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
Sucky weeks suck. I had a great week. I've been really busy at work, but I haven't been like nothing. It's been nice outside, the days are longer. I had a bad Monday because I couldn't sleep. But other than that.
Yeah, I had a bad Tuesday because I got hit by some kind of weird minor bug. That was mostly
You got the bug?
Annoying. No.
Okay. I just love that that's the like one of those like slick 80s terms or 90s terms for AIDS.
Right.
Is the bug, which is like the most generic thing possible.
Yeah.
Like people say that all the time, and they're not referring to that.
Yeah.
You have to be like specific. Sorry, Adam, I upstaged you with HIV.
No, it wasn't that bad.
No. Okay, that's good. I'm glad to hear it was not that.
It was just kind of weird thing. I felt tired. My joints kind of ached a bit, and there was some stomach upsettedness.
Okay, something you ate then, huh?
Maybe. I don't know. It was really weird. It just sucked. It was just, I went to work. I was there for like half an hour.
Yeah.
I was like, nope.
Not happening today.
I can't be like stuck on a call and like need to
use the bathroom.
Use the bathroom.
That's the worst, huh?
Yeah. So I was like, nah, I'm out, y'all, and took the day off.
It's like the worst type of like sick too, when you have those stomach cramps where you're just like, I'm doing fine, and then your like lower gut is just like, all right, well, time for the bathroom. Hope you have 20 seconds to get there.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're like, oh, yeah, that's bad.
It's just weird too because like it was just so like I didn't even feel that bad. Like I felt occasionally got like a chill or I felt kind of hot. I had like a low fever. I took my temperature and it was like 100.4 or something. Just
you just
the
got
mildest
a quick cold.
Yeah, it was just I don't know. It sucked. It was annoying.
That's so weird. I've totally had illnesses where it's been like that, where it's just been like, huh, That was
It
weird.
was just a day, and it was gone. And I felt fine the next day.
Probably the
actually
weirdest I
today.
ever felt was earlier, or no, was it last year? It must have been last year. Or maybe early this. No, when was that? It must have been early this year. God, I don't remember. I had vertigo for like 2 weeks straight.
Ooh,
That was terrible.
I bet.
Like, it was just, and the doctor was just like, it's probably just an inner ear infection that just makes it like so. Like, it was like literally the way I would describe it is like, yeah, it was like, you know when you get like drunk and you turn your head, and like it like your mind reacts, and like and
Yeah.
there's like a delay, like an input lag, basically.
Yes,
That's what it felt like
on life.
in life. Yeah, just moving my head around.
Yeah,
Like, it was just crazy. Like, and then it just went away over time. But I got better. That's just weird. That was a weird illness, huh? Inner ear
Yeah.
infection, huh? It went away, though. Like, pretty, just as, like, gradually as it came on, I guess. I don't know.
yeah.
I thought I was dying. Because it's weird. It felt so
bet.
weird. It was like, I like, never go to the doctor, but I went for that because I was like, this is just so weird, Like, I'm like
It's an
almost
odd
like,
symptom to have.
yeah, and there was nothing else. I was like, I'm a little nauseous, but I think it's because of that. Like,
Because everything's spinning all the time.
yeah, exactly. But they were just like, well, just they gave me some head exercises to do that I guess like helps trick your inner ear into like thinking it's like like basically like how to describe it? It's like a calibration, like a
Yeah.
thumbstick calibration for your
Okay.
inner ear. It's just like you turn your head to like 45 degrees, and then you like slam your head back, not head back, but like you're laying on a bed and you're just supposed to fall back and then hold your head like at that degrees and then quickly turn it to the other 45 degrees, and then after like 10 seconds you turn your body to like make it so your head is like straight. So it's just like basically like turning your head and moving up and down like in a just a fashion. You're supposed to do it 2 or 3 times a day, and it like helps basically just reorient your head into like knowing the correct like levels basically. I don't know. I did that and it worked actually, so or it went away, like the weirdness. So yeah. Well, that sucks. I'm glad you feel better. Just a 1-day sickness.
Yep.
And you felt better today,
seems that
huh?
way. I did.
Weird. All right, Adam. Other issue.
Yes. I had a plumbing adventure.
Oh, this is like a nighttime gurgling, if you will.
Not nearly so bad. Like
Oh, that's good. I'm glad that your fucking toilet didn't explode shit everywhere like mine did.
yeah.
Shit and hair.
Ugh.
If somebody cut their hair and flushed it. Yeah, I know, right? Who fucking does that?
Yeah.
Anyway, because it wasn't like gross pubic hair. It was like long. Obviously, someone cut their like long hair, like a ponytail was cut off. Yep.
Weird.
Yeah. Anyway, your
yeah.
plumbing issue.
My plumbing issue was just with the kitchen sink, which
Okay.
stopped draining.
Okay. Wait, do you have a garbage disposal?
No.
Oh, that's a mistake.
Yeah, I know, right?
I don't know why anyone
either,
would ever
like-
install a kitchen without having a garbage disposal
Yeah, or a
'Cause-
dishwasher.
or a dishwasher.
Like-
Yeah. What are you supposed
One of
to
the two.
do?
One of the two.
You basically have to clear all of the food particles off your plate, every
Yeah.
last bit of it into the garbage, and then wash your dishes, because you can't just rinse the leftover chunks into the garbage disposal and let it go.
Yeah,
You can't do that; it'll clog up.
exactly.
How did you
And
fix the clog?
we tried to do that, but sometimes like a fucking piece of onion or something.
You can never
goes
help
down.
it. Yeah, exactly.
No, yeah, it's gonna happen.
There's no way around it.
So yeah, it stopped draining, and I hate this kind of stuff because I am probably like the least handy person you will find.
I 100% agree, Adam.
Yeah,
I think I'm terribly unhandy,
yeah,
and I am definitely not unhandy. I just
Yeah.
don't know a lot, but I could tell you how I would have fixed it if I was there.
Well, we tried a couple different things.
All right.
like boiling water.
Okay, yeah, that's good. I do that. That's a really good one.
Yeah, that has solved our problem in the past.
Yeah, because it helps. Just unstickies things and shoves everything down. Okay, Drano works pretty well as well.
That was the second attempt.
Okay.
Actually,
do you know the stuff I used prior to Drano?
Vinegar and baking soda.
Yep, vinegar and baking soda. It totally is awesome because it's totally clean. It totally does work, and usually have those ingredients around. So.
Yeah.
All right.
No, we didn't do that. We just said fuck it and skipped. I don't think we had.
That's fair enough. Fair enough.
Actually, yeah, it's like we'll just get fucking Drano. So yeah. Try Drano. Didn't work.
Drano's hardcore shit, man.
I know.
You buy that, there's like warning labels everywhere.
Yes.
It's like, do not mix with this because poisonous vapors could form, and you're like, ah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This actually wasn't Drano. It was like a Kroger Drano.
Off-brand Drano?
Yeah, like Kroger Value Drano.
Value Drano. I bought the real shit when I had my problem, but I think I went to like a Walgreens and I didn't have a value brand.
Yeah.
Yeah, ingredients are the same.
Basically, yeah.
But Drano is basically vinegar and baking soda, but like more specialized, basically. Yeah. It just works better because it like I guess the problem with vinegar baking soda is not a liquid, so it only will just like fluff down on top of stuff basically, whereas this will like coat everything with like the baking soda part of the reaction, and then when you pour the second part in, it hits everything because everything's been soaked basically. But yes, so that didn't work, huh?
Yeah, and actually, like before this was happening, we had a problem because we didn't want to use Drano because actually it was also leaking. That was the first thing that we
leaking?
noticed. Yes.
Underneath?
Yes.
Oh, that's bad.
Yes. But that was before the clog even. It was causing some leaking, so we could only like wash on one side.
You want to know my clog? Sorry, I want another quick fix.
Okay.
I just want to give a quick fix before you get to the real thing. The thing I always do, and the easiest way to get rid of stuck drains anywhere, plunger.
Yeah.
You fill it up with a bunch of water, and then you use the plunger a bunch because that agitates whatever's stuck in there, especially if you can get suction. You'll have to plug up the little holes in your sink if it's your like bathroom sink so that it can get suction. But that works wonders, especially if it's just hair. You know what I mean? Just like real light stuff that just you need to move it around a bunch, and then it'll, the water will push it down, past the U-bend or whatever. Anyway, so that clearly was all not going to work for you.
No.
All right.
No. So yeah, it was leaking, and then we got the clog, and it was a pain. So
it's just a mess.
Yeah, it was bad. So I finally took a look at the leak, and that actually wasn't that big of a problem. That was fixed pretty easily.
Just tightened up some stuff.
Yep. Just put things in place, tighten it up.
Nice.
No problem. But then, without any kind of release, the clog became apparent, and it filled up like both sides.
Oh.
So it was below the part where they meet.
Oh no.
And it wasn't. I mean, that's not too far. But,
no.
It sat there for a little bit, and then I'm like, okay, well, Drano. So we throw the Drano in, and
Drano doesn't really work with standing water, though.
It kind of does, because it is heavier than water.
Yeah, but that's not the ideal. Drano you're supposed to use before you have water standing.
Well, there wasn't very much.
Okay.
But we poured it in, and then you wait like 15 minutes or whatever, and then you're supposed to put water on top of it.
Yeah.
So we did that bad. No. Okay.
Nothing
so we
happened.
had water coming up. That's when it was kind of started to be like standing water and Drano mix.
Yep, got it. Bad mix. Then,
yeah. So, and that went like overnight.
Yeah.
Like that, because...
Well, it wasn't completely stopped, was it? Did it slowly drain overnight?
No.
Oh, wow, it was completely clogged.
Yeah. Yep.
Did your brother flush like a Barbie down there or something?
No,
Okay.
you couldn't even. It's the kitchen sink. It's got like a little
Oh,
screen
it wasn't
at the
your
bottom.
toilet wasn't having any problems?
No,
Okay, so it's just a sink issue then.
it's just a sink issue.
Yeah, that's good.
But when it got down to it, I had to clear the P trap, which is like the U-bend thing at the
Yep.
bottom.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Don't you have
and
like a
so-
landlord to do things like this?
yeah, but I don't know. I hate bugging him.
Yeah.
He's
He's an old man.
a really old man.
And he wouldn't be able to do it himself probably.
Yeah, and
Or
might
he would try to and do a bad job.
yeah,
Because he
or-
wouldn't want to
or
pay for it.
try and get doused in Drano water and melt. I don't know. Just
Yeah, you wanted to fix it yourself. Adam, I appreciate the initiative here.
So, and also, like, I just prefer not to have them in my place because it doesn't always look the best. So,
Yeah.
but anyway, yeah, So I went out and got rubber gloves,
Okay.
goggles,
You didn't have any before?
and a snake. No. Like we got like lab goggles
Are we talking boa?
for chemicals. What?
We talking boa? We talking water moccasin?
snake? No, we're talking like
Rattlesnake?
Talking like 15-footer.
Those are awesome, by the way.
Yeah, they are.
Drain snakes are cool. And they work really well to clear out
So I wanted
clogs.
Yeah, I didn't want to have to drain the pea bend or
Yeah.
the pea trap, and so I started off with the snake.
Uh-huh.
But like I said, it's a kitchen sink and there's standing water there, and it's got one of those like little screens,
Yep.
so
mhm.
so that it should catch most of the big chunks.
It should, but it clearly didn't.
What it did do is not allow me to put the snake down there
Oh, man.
because it's got like a spring on the end of it for
Yeah.
like pushing junk and whatever.
Uh-huh.
And so I had to empty the trap. So I
Yep.
goggled and stuff up, got a bucket underneath.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Adam,
like-
I'm going to say this, Adam.
yeah,
This doesn't sound, you say you're not handy. This is sounding pretty handy, Adam.
yeah.
I'm not going to lie to you. I think you're solving an actual household problem like a man.
Wow.
I'm just saying
Yeah,
it.
I will say when this is all said and done, that's what I felt like.
That's good. That's always the best.
Yeah,
Whenever you unclog a drain, you feel like a man.
it's true.
Anyway, yep.
But yeah, I got down there, got the bucket under, and just opened it up, pulled it off,
Ugh.
and yeah, just water and Drano splashing everywhere, and
Yeah.
filling up the bucket, and
Dead rat.
no.
Oh, God, that would be horrible.
It actually didn't look
There's
that
your
bad.
problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The P trap was clear. It
Huh.
didn't look that bad.
Huh.
I put it in there and I put it back together and I thought, well, let's give it a try.
Yeah.
So put some water through, still clogged.
Okay.
Yeah. So bucket back under, take out the water,
Yep.
and then start snaking the pipe, like the drain goes from there, which is
Yep.
kind of weird because it comes up the trap thing. There's that little bend pipe.
Yep.
And it's kind of hard to get a good straight,
Yep.
shot at that.
Mhm.
But anyway, I tried. I put the snake up through, and I did come across like what felt like really a hard kind of thing,
Uh-huh.
and I just kept pushing and working on it. I
Yep.
brought it back out. Gross. It's like gunk. It's just like
Just goop.
yeah,
Like,
like
half
mud.
dissolved goop.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I pushed around. I didn't really. Not much came out or anything like that, or it just I kept pulling it out, and sometimes it'd be goop on it, and eventually I just got to a point where I couldn't move it any further.
Mm-hmm.
And I finally figured out, I think, that like right behind the wall there, of course, the pipe goes down.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So that's as far as I could get the snake.
Yeah, you couldn't get it to bend around that.
Yeah. So I just thought, well, I hope that stuff that I pulled out was
The
all
cause.
there was.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it didn't really seem like it.
Yeah.
There wasn't a whole lot of it. Whatever. Put the pipe back in, and I was about ready just to like try it again, and luckily Isaiah reminded me we still had like another half a bottle of Drano.
Yeah.
It's like, why don't we put that through again as well?
Ah, good idea. Now that the
First.
standing water's out.
Yep, and
The higher up clogs are gone.
Yep, exactly.
Yep.
So we put the Drano through again, waited like 15 minutes or whatever, the hot water through, and the hot water just flushed right through.
Nice.
Fixed. Solved.
Just took Drano, basically.
Yeah, and I did feel good.
That's awesome.
Because I'd been through the whole thing. Like
You did it
I
all.
tried it all, done it all.
You're a regular Mario.
Yeah.
A plumber,
Exactly.
if you will. I know I will.
Mario and Luigi Mario.
That's correct. That's their names. Don't
Yep.
wear them out. Yeah. Well, that sounds awesome.
Yeah,
I'm glad
it was-
it worked out for you.
Yeah, me too. Because when I was just like pushing the snake in there and I was hitting that like with the wall, I was just like, ugh.
Oh no,
This is not happening.
this is a solid mass.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, we need a plumber. Like, you know, I need to call the landlord. He's got to call somebody and get them.
You
in
better
there.
call somebody. That's it. That's
Yeah.
Generation X. Sorry. Moving on. Well, I'm glad. That's good.
Yeah. No, so it all worked out, and we have a sink again. It'll be nice.
Nice. You can use the sink. No longer you
Wash
need
dishes.
to throw your dishes outside.
Nope.
How would you wash
Or
dishes? Would you just use the bucket and then dump the bucket outside after you're done
Bathtub.
washing? Do you wash your dishes in the bathtub?
Not like you don't fill the bathtub up and like.
No, I know, but you didn't. You
Do that,
rinsed
but-
off dishes into the bathtub.
Yeah, I think.
Adam.
Why?
I mean, you do what you got to do. You know.
Well, yeah. I mean, if your sink is
Fair enough. I just assumed you would have switched to paper plates at that point.
didn't have them.
Didn't have them. Didn't pick them up when you went to the Drano store.
Didn't pick them up. Well,
No
that was the other
Kroger's.
thing. I couldn't get the actual like stuff I needed until today because it was payday and I was low on cash. But
You didn't have enough money to buy Drano.
no, I had enough to buy Drano, but not like the snake and other stuff.
Oh, all of the equipment.
So like,
the accoutrement.
yeah, like a couple days ago, we put the Drano through,
Yeah.
but then it was just kind of like stuck there in the sink.
You're just hoping the
until, like,
Drano
like a
water
snake
mix
and-
would work its way through.
I wish it would have,
Yeah.
but I wasn't really counting on it.
Yeah, when I have leftover boiling water, I usually just pour it down like any drain that I know is having issues.
Yeah,
Like, just because I know it will help it.
I need to. Yeah, I should need that on my bathroom sink too. It's
Yeah,
kinda,
why not? It's not going to hurt it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got beard
kinda
hair.
draining slow.
It'll ruin it. But that one's easier to usually fix because you don't have the stuff that'll stop a snake or whatever. So
Yeah.
drain snake. Oh man, they have cameras and shit too for those.
And like ones
Like-
that you put like drills onto, and use
Yeah.
the drills like yeah.
I had that.
It's,
When they did my toilet situation.
oh yeah.
Yeah, they like fucking like just ran a monster guy through it, like, and it was like pumping like with a motor, and it was just like an electric snake, big long thing that they just would shove all the way down with like, you know, motor power, and then pull, and then just crank it back up and
Yeah.
pull all sorts of terrible condoms and bullshit that my neighbors had flushed for some reason. Stuff that you never should flush because it will never leave your system. Because it is not in any way degradable. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, so don't flush tampons or condoms. That's your thing. I'm sure Adam wasn't flushing either of those things down his bathroom or his kitchen sink.
No. You can rest.
You couldn't
assured.
you couldn't even fit those in there, I'm sure.
No, I couldn't.
No, 'cause
nor would
the-
I try.
I mean, I've tried. You just can't get around that little mesh screen.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Anyway. Well, let's see. I didn't really have anything personally happen to me odd this week. Just had a regular old week. Busy week at work, you know, doing stuff. But played some more Stardew Valley.
Oh yeah.
John's Computergate 2016 update. Sorry, I got to bring up my reliability history. So I had it crashed on the 6th, right?
Uh-huh.
And it was good all the way to the 14th when it crashed again.
Okay.
And,
over a week.
It's been good since then.
Nice.
Windows was not properly shut down. Microsoft messaging stopped working. I don't know what this is. View technical details. Windows app, Microsoft messaging, Skype host.exe. Well, I don't think that's it. Well, whatever. It was the video issue because I came back up here and I saw the screen was just red. Not red, but like a mauve, maybe.
Okay.
I don't know how to describe it. Just make the screen goes a color and then it goes away. I don't know. It's definitely the video card, but it seems to be just fits and starts, and if it's not under any sort of high load, it's not having a problem, you know? I've been playing a lot of Stardew Valley, which is not super graphics card intensive, so I feel like that's probably helping things a lot. That game is really good, Adam. People have been talking about that game.
Yeah,
I fucking love that game. That guy, Adam, who made the game. One guy made the whole thing. By himself. And that game has, like, sold gangbusters. Like,
500,000, I think.
500,000, yeah, definitely. If not 500,000. It's number 2 right now in the sales charts. Let me check Steam Spy. I can... Steam Spy. It's actually a pretty cool thing that lets you know like sales and scores and owners and amount of concurrent players and the median playtime of everything. It's actually pretty cool because it just uses like Steam's data collection like ability for you to find out about stuff. So Adam, $15, user score, 98% Metascore, 86%, 542,000 owners, almost 500, basically 550,000 owners, plus or minus 16,000, with 500,000 concurrent players. Median playtime is 14 hours, it says, which is pretty good, huh? I like it.
Yeah.
The Division seems to have about the same number of sales right now, which is crazy. Yeah. But of course Stardew Valley only came out on PC, so this is pretty much the only way you could buy it.
Yeah,
was through Steam, and I think people also purchased it on a Kickstarter because I think it was kickstarted.
I don't know.
Was Stardew Valley kickstarted? I'm gonna look it up. I feel like it was because my brother was talking about how he backed it.
I mean, I don't know how else a guy takes that much time off to make a game.
Yeah. No, I don't think so. I don't think it was kickstarted. It was Steam Greenlight in 2012. It got put in a Steam Greenlight.
They do it just in his spare time?
Yeah, I don't know. I honestly think he over 2012 is when it was first posted about on Steam. It seems like he's yeah, that's it really. I think he just made it by himself. I don't know if he had money or had a spouse maybe that was working, you know what I mean, like whatever his situation was, or he was able to just work on it. But I mean, like, if you think about $15 a piece, 550,000 copies, that's approximately, I already calculated this out, $7.5 million gross.
Yeah.
Take out Steam's cut, which is 30%. That's $5 million he made making this game.
And then taxes.
And taxes, whatever. But I mean, when you think about it. But think about it this way. Basically, he spent 5 years making $5 million before taxes. So probably something close to $3.5 million. Yeah. Maybe $3 million. He was getting paid close to $1 million a year to make a game that he loved making.
I bet he wishes he charged like $20 for it now.
I would have paid $20 for the game.
I know. Most people would have, I imagine.
And so interesting that he didn't do that, but whatever. I mean, hell, that's enough, right? You can't really ask for more than that. I mean, you can, but it certainly did very well for him.
Oh, yeah.
And it sounds like, obviously the game I think 500,000 is not the amount of sales it's going to have at the end. You know what I mean?
No,
Like, this hit big, and it's just going to be kind of one of those Steam sale games where everyone's just like, oh, $10 or oh, $5. I'm going to pick that up, you know?
Yeah.
And they should, because I've said before, it is awesome. It just works the Harvest Moon formula to perfection. It's really fun to play. It's satisfying. It just is a never-ending loop of interesting things to do. All of the systems are really like fun and intuitive, and you can just get really deep into this game with like stuff. Like, it is just so much to do. I can't even like describe how much there is in this game. I mean, it's just infinite possibilities and just a great treadmill of stuff to do and NPCs to meet and stuff going on in town. And if you like a Harvest Moon style game, you're going to put a lot of hours into this. I mean, I myself have, I'm trying to see what my Steam says. I played 14 hours so far. And I am almost through summer of the first year. So I'm almost halfway through the first year, basically. I guess you can buy it on GOG as well and Humble Bundle. But I mean, Steam's probably the big sales.
Yeah.
The big number. I mean, so he's probably not sold, probably maybe half of Steam and those other two, or not even. Maybe 100,000 copies across those other two. Still, though, I mean, Jesus. Good for this guy.
Yeah.
Holy cow. Making his own thing and selling gangbusters. Pretty cool.
Yeah,
Steam,
awesome.
I just want to give a shout out to Steam Spy, the guy who does this. I guess he's got a Patreon, but man, it is useful. It just has everything, you know, and you can see what people have bought. I mean, you can see, I mean, how many people do you think bought Super Hot?
250,000.
No, 152,000.
Wow.
Sold it for 25. I think that was the problem. You know what I mean?
That was more of a $15 game.
Well, it's a lot shorter than the 80 hours of Stardew Valley that takes your first year to do. I mean, I'm not saying games should be priced on the amount of content, but 25 is a lot for a game that a lot of people said they beat under like 5-6 hours. Like, it was just, and there's not a lot of replayability.
I heard of somebody who wanted to return it on Steam, I think, because of their return policy is like...
Yeah, because, I'm sorry, they beat in like 2 hours, yeah. I mean, it's
crazy.
just kind of crazy. I mean, like, I understand you got to make your money, you know, and I don't know your particular, you know, situation of what your sales are or whatever, but like, I think $15 or $20 is the sweet spot for a game. You know what I mean? Anything over 20 and it's like, well, is this like a big game? You know, like, Super Hot would be something I would totally play for $10, like, without even thinking about it. You know, and it's just kind of one of those things. It's like, it's weird. I can't say that they're wrong for doing it, but you know, I don't think the game sold very well. So I think they missed out on a chance to make a lot more money there. I don't know. Yeah, it's just like there's some weird stuff like you know, the game Plague Inc. evolved. You heard of Plague Inc.?
It sounds familiar.
So it was a cell phone game that I have that's awesome. It's where you create your own virus and you try to infect the world with it. Or you create a bacteria, so you can unlock different tiers of pathogens, basically. But you like try and create create like a plague that will infect the world, and you choose where you start and you buy upgrades. Like, oh, I want to evolve my parasite to have the ability to deal with cold weather more, and then it'll transmit more up to that. And then as you know, your drug, so or as your plaguing is really cool because it's a kind of a weird, you have to gameplay wise have to basically make an illness that is super transmittable, so you can get to a lot of people. But if you make something that's super transmittable and really deadly, then people will freak out and they'll start trying to find a cure really fast. So you kind of have to do the thing where you want to try and get a large population ill with it, and then make it really deadly. You know what I mean? Then just have it turn, and then people get really sick, and then you wipe out a large enough of the population, and it'll show like countries that you've just wiped out. It's like more than 90% of their population is gone. They don't even have working roads anymore. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
And it gets to the point where you're just like, it's just the end of the world. You're like, man, if Germany, which is, you know, like one of the, and then you have like certain countries like Germany or the US that are like working on a cure really good. But you end up getting enough of their people sick, they can't do research anymore because just people are dead or the power's out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just crazy. That game's really neat. I paid $2 for it on my phone, and it's $15 on Steam.
Oh, man.
Which I don't know if it's like a way better game, but like just that alone difference in price. It's like, really? Like, I paid $2 for this on my phone. Like, I mean, it could have a lot of new options, but I don't really see how making it a PC game changes the gameplay that much. You know what I mean? I guess it has multiplayer where you can like go against it and like better maps and extra stuff, but it just seems like a huge increase in price for a re-release of a game, basically. You know what I mean? Like that I paid $2 for. I mean, I was assuming this was $5, and I probably would have bought it. I don't know. That's weird because I don't have unlimited money, Adam. You don't have unlimited money.
I certainly do not.
I gotta feed my addiction to purchasing guns in Counter-Strike Go. I can't spend that. I spent that $15 already on a bunch of weapon skins because I'm a fucking monster.
Yep.
Oh man, Adam, my weapon skins. Let me go through those with you.
Oh boy.
No, I didn't really get any other weapon skins. I unlocked more chests that I got, but I haven't like gone out of the way to purchase more. I got a sticker pack. I didn't realize stickers existed, Adam. Do you know what stickers do?
No.
Okay, so you have your gun, right?
Yeah.
And you got your like skin, right? Mm-hmm. You could put stickers on that gun skin, and you get different. Like, so I got like an 8-ball sticker that I put on my handgun.
Oh man,
it's so dumb, Adam. But you look at those guns the whole game, and it looks cool, and you get to see everybody else's cool-looking guns. Because if somebody dies and drops their cool-looking gun, you pick it up, and you can run around with it and look at it. There's actually a button, Adam, if you middle mouse click to inspect the weapon of the person who picked it up. So you can like look at this cool, and you know that stat track? Well, I told you about this a while ago, but you can purchase like a stat track upgrade, or you can get lucky. I got a skin that had a stat track built into it, a Tech 9 skin that looks really cool. And the stat track tracks how many kills that certain gun has made. So you could pick it up and then inspect and see, oh shit, like 500 kills on this gun.
Yeah.
Because it'll show you it's just crazy. I mean, it's so dumb. But it works, you know, because it's like the game's $15 one time, and that's all you ever need to spend to play, and it's really fun. But you know, you drop a little bit of money here and there to get some weapon skins, and I don't know, it's a good model, I think, because you only have to spend money if you want to buy shiny toys. Basically, you don't need them, you know.
Right.
All right. Steam Spy, Stardew Valley. I don't know what else I can say about Stardew Valley. I mean, do you have any questions for me about it in particular?
Not really.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't played Harvest Moon games, so I wouldn't even really know what to ask.
Yeah.
Although I heard you can like get a horse and then like make fried eggs every morning and give them to villagers.
Yeah, you can do all sorts of
Or
stuff like
something.
that. Yeah, you can give any presents to villagers. I actually have been delivering sweet peas, which are a name of a flower, and they grow naturally. But the girls like flowers. Most of them do. So, except for Abigail, she's a bitch. She wants some weird shit. Fuck flowers. She doesn't like flowers. I'm going for Leah, the artist, the sensitive artist by the lake. She's making wood sculptures,
Okay.
and so she's mine.
All right.
It's really interesting how the relationship stuff works in that game and all these games. But the reason why I picked Leah was because there was a point where I just had like a short conversation with her where she was just like, what brings you here to the valley? And like, you know, the storyline's kind of like your guy wanted to get away from the city life and working for the Amazon style company that you worked for. And that's what I said. I said, I just want to get away from it all. And she's like, yeah, me too. I just needed to step away. And I was like, oh man, she gets me, and I was like, all right, I got to talk to her more, It's just kind of like little things like that, like the role playing, and it kind of feels really, really good. But this guy, man, excellent job. Like the graphics look really good. Gameplay's really solid. There's like no bugs. Like this game is really bug free, which is crazy.
Wow.
For a game that one man made. But he did spend 5 years making it, so there that is. But fucking A, man, it's just good. It's really good when you get an indie game like this that just hits so big, and it's like, wow, somebody made something incredible. Yeah. In their, with 5 years, and awesome. Makes you feel good about the industry. You hear all these horror stories about. So if I saw WildStar developers, I guess some people left, and when some anonymous posting about what life was like working in that studio, and it was like, oh man, like it sucks. Yeah. Were you way into WildStar? Did you want to get in on that?
I would have liked to have tried it, but I never actually did.
Yeah, it just really turned me off. Like a lot of people were just like really like trying to sell me on it. It's like like World of Warcraft, but like with active combat. And I watch people play it, and I'm like, this feels a lot like World of Warcraft to me. Like, I don't know if you've played World of Warcraft lately, but like a lot, because they were like, oh, but like you can see on the ground, like this guy's gonna attack, and then like a little red circle shows up in the ground. I'm like, yeah, the World of Warcraft does that too. They've been doing it for a while. Like, I don't know, it's not anything new. It's just. The thing is, World of Warcraft has the money and the people to just basically take every good thing. Yeah, they're just like, all right, we'll do all of that, and they can, because they have it.
Pokemon battles with pets.
Yeah, they got that, and it's. I don't. Did you do any of that?
A little bit.
It's deep. Fun. It's so deep, though. Like,
it is.
Because you can like level up the like grade of your pet, because they have different there's epic or and all those different styles, and you can get a contract to level your pet up to that, like prestige it basically, and it starts at level 1 again. But then there's ways to power level really easily, and it's just that was a podcast game for me. Like I would just listen to podcasts and run around and love my pets. And talking about it now makes me want to resubscribe to World of Warcraft. Adam, stop. Sorry. I can't talk about it. You brought it up, though. I didn't this time.
Yeah, oddly enough.
Yep, odd job. Okay. That's all I had to say. Let's talk about other things. Stardew Valley. Adam, you played some of The Division.
I did.
That came out this week.
It did.
You playing that single player, huh?
Not necessarily. I am.
You can play split screen?
No, I play online with people.
Okay.
People in the D&D group I was.
Okay. I was about to say I don't know how I could play that game, because anything I've heard is single player ain't great.
Actually, it's not.
I just heard it just isn't really balanced for single player. Like you can play it, but it's not like incredible.
Yeah, it's not incredible. I'm okay with playing alone, because I just go around and do a bunch of side missions, which are fucking jokes, and grabbing intel and shit, which are collectibles.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a lot of fun when you have a group of like 3 or 4 people together, and you can voice chat together.
Yeah.
And you can actually handle it like a team.
You can do the thing from the E3 demo.
Well, maybe not quite like that.
Where you're just like, hey, you go up, stop that guy. I'm gonna hit you on the rear.
6047 Charlie. Delta Delta Tango.
Tango Delta.
Yeah.
No, but like.
But yeah, basically it's like, oh fuck, there's chargers on the right, watch out,
Yeah.
That kind of thing, or hey, this boss has a fucking
check my 6
bag.
Check my 6, bro.
Yeah, cover me while I move from here to here.
I think I'd have a hard time getting way into this game, because I would just be like, Man, I like Destiny, and I wish Destiny would have been better.
Yeah.
Because this is kind of like Destiny in a lot of ways. I mean, the game looks gorgeous. I played a lot of that beta, like probably 5-6 hours, and
It is
that was really fun. The shooting's good. It's not great, but it's good.
It's pretty good.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, like whereas like people would say about Destiny, like, man, that combat is awesome. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I played it. Like, just that, you know, like on YouTube, people can see it. That like 2-hour long battle we had with that boss. You know,
Yeah.
it just was so good, and that's it. I don't know. It was just so good, and then it was it. You know, like that was it. The shooting was good, and then there was nothing else to do in the game.
Yeah.
So
Basically.
yeah.
But I mean, having people in Division it helps a bunch, and the missions are really cool usually. Like maybe not necessarily story wise or whatever, but this game is really vertical. Both in the side missions where you're climbing up the sides of buildings and up ladders, or walking out windows onto like escape ladders and stuff. I like how vertical it is, and I like a lot of the missions are designed with that kind of verticality in mind, and or just cool locations like a train yard that you have to fight your way through. The cool places, like going through their version of Macy's, and it's on fire.
Yeah.
That you have to.
Yeah. I heard about these missions. They're just
Yeah. You have
kinda-
to follow people for.
just kind of good looking, good, interesting, like gameplay. I don't know. I can't get into it. One of the complaints I've heard is that all of the loot is just like, they all look basically the same. You know, it's like, oh, it's another normal looking gun I've gotten. You know, they need stickers, Adam, and skins, weapons.
Don't.
Yeah, but wouldn't you like that? Like, here's this sweet flame pattern all over this, you know, gun.
Not really. I don't care that
Oh,
much.
you say that now, but you see that guy running around in the dark zone with that flame gun,
Oh my god!
and you'll want it.
The thing that I actually love in that game is getting new clothes. And
All right.
where- because the character development,
Yeah.
the character creator is terrible.
Yes, there's no. It's my type of character creator. Yeah.
A garbage one.
No, just I don't need any options. Just make me a normal looking guy.
Ugh, that's terrible.
Okay.
But that's the way the Division is. So
Yep.
you know, you're good there.
Uh huh.
But yeah, you get all kinds of different purely cosmetic apparel options. From stuff that you find around New York that people give you or wherever. And yeah, I do. I love switching out my appearance and stuff like that. Wearing a big puffy coat or not a puffy coat. You know, different colored shit.
Okay.
Flat cap.
Flap cap.
Yeah.
Yeah. What you rolling with, Adam?
Actually, I want to go with pom-poms, but I actually have not picked up a single goddamn pom-pom hat the entire time.
Really?
I've got a bunch of fucking military caps, and I got one flap cap.
Yeah.
And
I love a good
beanies,
flap cap.
and like a million beanies,
Oh, fucking beanies. Who cares?
or skull cap, or whatever.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a trendy one. I've got a
that
trendy.
Yeah, I know. I think I had like trendy puffy jacket or something I got
Oh,
as a
God.
job.
Puff jacket's amazing. I love it. It's good.
Yep. All right.
I want a red one.
You want a red puff jacket? Well, you're gonna have to
do.
fight for it. Have you done any Dark Zone? Can you explain
have.
what that is
Yeah.
to
So
those
the
who wouldn't know?
Dark Zone is like the versus multiplayer in this game, but it's not.
Not to be confused with the Misfits, Forbidden Zone,
Certainly not.
the song Forbidden Zone,
Yeah.
and based on the, of course, Planet of the Apes, Forbidden Zone.
Yeah.
Continue the Dark Zone.
The Dark Zone. Supposedly the Dark Zone is supposed to be this super contagious area that's really deadly, and nobody wants to go there, and like everything is broken down. Although really everything seems broken down everywhere in the game.
Yeah.
But there's roving bands of NPCs that are all like elites and shit, and they're rough. And actually, if you're going in the Dark Zone solo, you better be one fucking badass dude. Because yeah, you'll like on practically every street corner there's just gangs of elite dudes, and I forget what they call them, but they're like the super elite guys who are yellow instead of purple or whatever. So the thing is, you go in there with your crew, you bust up some NPCs who drop better loot, generally than you find for the same level in the regular game. But you can't take out the loot because it's contaminated.
Correct, yes.
So you have to call in a helicopter to get it extracted and go through a special fucking facility.
You have a really sweet-looking nuclear fanny pack that you put on your back.
It's biohazard symbol, but yeah, sure.
Sorry, yes, biohazard symbol fanny pack.
Yes. And there's only 4 slots on the helicopter too, so it's enough for one crew pretty much.
Oh, really? It isn't slots per person?
You have 6 slots that fit in your bag, but there are 4 bag slots on the helicopter drop down.
Got it. So you can put your bag of 6 on that.
Yeah. But, if other people are sitting there waiting at the extraction point, not everybody in your group may make it. You're not, tapping on it. So only 4 bags can be taken out per extraction.
Okay, fair enough. So that's like a crew's worth.
Yeah.
At a time. And have you been rolling around in a crew?
Yeah.
In the Dark Zone?
Yeah, there's generally...
That's pretty much the only way to do it, right? I mean, if you're not in a crew, you're going to get murked.
I can't even imagine not having the crew. I was level, I think, 11 at the time or something. But we're in, like... They separate the PCs into, like, 1 through 14 and 15 through 30, which is the level cap for Dark Zone. But Dark Zone also has, like, different levels of bad dudes. And we were, like, fighting, I think, level 14 elites and shit. And bad guys are already kind of bullet spongy in the game. And my god, these guys took forever to murder. Like, it was...
Yeah.
It was rough. But the loot was good. Like, it was better than what I was getting for the most part in the missions and other stuff. But yeah, it's really cool. It was really tense.
Yeah, it seems like
you can. Mm-hmm. The thing I haven't mentioned yet is that you can. All the other people in the server are fair game. You can shoot them, and you can go rogue and take their shit, or you can have your shit taken.
Exactly.
From you.
Yeah, because everyone else is kind of out on your own, basically, you're with your crew if you have your crew.
Yeah.
But you're just kind of out there, in the line of fire. And a lot of people, when I played it in the beta, like a lot of people were like tentative to like start anything because you get killed, you lose your stuff too. So it's kind of like,
and you're like experienced in the Dark Zone.
Exactly. It's like risk reward. It's like if you end up trying to jump this guy and he ends up killing you, that's bad. That's real bad because A, if you were carrying anything, you lose it, and he'll get it. Yeah. And B, you get marked as rogue. So even if you do end up killing the guy, everyone else on the map will know that you're someone who's player killing, and they'll come after you because they know if you killed the player, obviously you got his loot, so you're carrying some juicy shit.
Plus, there's like a bounty on your head that gives you extra Dark Zone experience.
Exactly. It's like a separate experience pool for the Dark Zone, which is a good way to do it, because if you don't want to mess with the multiplayer, it doesn't affect your overall single-player progress.
Right.
Like, in a significant way. I mean, you can get weapons to use in single-player, but, it doesn't mess up your experience levels there.
Right.
Which is nice. I heard they had matchmaking for the story missions, which is something Destiny desperately needed to have, but didn't. But you and I played through basically the entire game.
Yeah, we did.
Which is really fun, actually.
Yeah.
Like, that game is really good to co-op with 2 people, Destiny. Like I wouldn't recommend that game as like, man, it's amazing, but I was like, if you got a friend who wants to play it with you, playing through that whole story mode is fun. Like, you'll get a lot of enjoyment out of that. But, okay, cool. I'm glad you're having a good time with the Division.
Yeah, I am. I mean, the only thing is, it is bad when you can't group up with people. You can run around and do some stuff, but if you want to like do missions, it gets kind of rough.
Yeah, I heard it just gets a little tricky.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. It's like you can't handle large groups on your own. You know, you're just gonna get wrecked.
Because the AI is actually pretty smart. They flank you.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Really well, and yeah, it can be bad when you don't have guys to like split up and flank them or something.
Yeah. You know, watch your
easy to
six.
get-
Roger,
yeah.
Roger.
Right.
Vector.
It's easy to get surrounded. in
Close
single
that car
player.
door. Yeah, man. Well, I'm really glad it's good though. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
it's what
yeah.
you expected it to be. And did you pre-order that, bitch? Get it
I
cheap?
did.
Nice. So I did not pre-order it, and I probably won't have it. So I apologize in advance, Adam. You're not going to be able to party up with Jonathan.
What you gonna do?
Well, I'll probably pick it up when it's on sale, you know, just to try it out. But I don't know. I don't have the money to spend on a $60 game that I'm not like way looking
Right.
forward to.
Well, apparently they have free DLC coming pretty soon. I think that's going to be like raids, basically.
Okay, yeah.
They're calling them incursions,
Okay.
but that's coming out for free soon. So hopefully they'll be a little bit better than Destiny was and have a steadier flow of updates. Already, it seems like they have like a year one plan that they have like a trailer video for and stuff. So
All right.
seems like they got some planning into it. That's the Division.
Sounds really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm going to buy the game Factorio.
I heard about that.
Seems
and-
right up my alley.
Yeah.
You know, like build
Yeah.
a factory on an alien planet, and it basically sounds like Tekkit the game. Like building a factory to produce items in an infinite
Basically.
2D world. Yeah, so I'll talk about that next week. I'm gonna play that. That seems right up my alley, and I already got some cash in my Steam wallet, so
Cool.
yeah, I know I bought some guns, so I got some leftover change. I sold some cards. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Some Steam cards. So I had some duplicates, so yeah, I don't know. Well, that's installing now. I just purchased that. Well, I gotta have something to talk about on the podcast. Can I talk about Stardew Valley again? I already talked about that like 4 times, and I don't have anything else to say.
Seasonal update.
Yeah, it's true. I can talk about the fall. I just had a big thunderstorm that ran through, which was fortuitous because it was raining 2 days in a row. It takes the guy 2 days to upgrade your tools. So I threw my my watering can in because I knew for 2 days I wasn't going to have to water. So I was able to get that upgraded, and now I can now it washes, or it waters 3 spots in front of me, which is nice. Because it was real tedious going around my big farm, just hitting every single plot. So, but you do get like an upgrade, the ability to build sprinkler systems that auto water everything, and yeah, it's really cool. I like that game, and I've always loved Harvest Moon games. So, of course, I would like it. It's hard to like give a recommendation because this game is built for me specifically. So it's hard to be like, well, are you gonna like it? I don't know. It was made for me, so I love it. Yeah, I don't know. Let's move on. We don't have a ton of time. I think we had to move on.
Yeah, I think
Adam had some other things we could have talked about, but I played a bunch more Far Cry 4.
Oh yeah.
That game is so good and so awful at the same time. I love playing it, and then you'll end up like doing a mission where it's like sneak around, and it's like I hate the fucking first-person stealth in this game, so I hate doing this mission where I have to sneak around. But the checkpoints are pretty forgiving, so you can just basically fail your way through it and learn enemy paths by failing constantly, and then get through it. But it's just frustrating. It's like in a game where it's built like play your own way, especially with the way that like all the map objectives are. I think I only have like 3 not fortresses, but like what are they called? Not strongholds. What are those called? Like outposts. I have like 3 outposts left. I like the 25 or 30 in the game to go through. I got all the towers unlocked, which gives you, and by the way, in that game, unlock all the towers because the weapon you get is the absolute most insane, overpowered gun. It's just a minigun that shoots like 100 rounds a second, and it has a scope on it.
Wow.
It's crazy. I kill everyone with that thing. Like, you know, the heavies in that game with the machine guns or the flamethrowers?
Yeah.
Just a couple seconds to spray off that and they're dead. Like, it kind of minimalizes some of the issues in the gameplay. But the AI in that's really good, like in that game. The shooting's good. As you get into the northern Kyrat, like later parts of the game, the enemies get really strong. They take a lot more than a shot to kill, so you really need to have those special weapons unlocked, like the whatchamacallits, the signature weapons unlocked. Yeah, I don't know. That's a really good game, though. I played a little bit of 3, but I had that on PC, and then my computer died, so I never really played it. I got to play out more of 4, and I should probably finish that game, because I think I'm at like 26 out of 33 or something story missions, so I'm like really far in now, and I like that game. And I sided with the guy, the dickbag guy who wants to make all women work in factories and stuff and not like have lives, basically. And not the lady who's like, girl power, but also we're going to sell heroin. And you're like, oh, this is bad.
I don't know. That sounds cooler, man.
It sounds cooler until you do her missions where it's like, hey, take over this factory, but don't accidentally set fire to any of these fields. And also the enemies will try and set fire to the fields. And you're like, fuck that. I'm not dealing with protecting crops. Yeah, and whereas the guys' missions are like, just blow it up. And I'm like, all right, that sounds fun. That's why I sided with him, because I was like, I'm not sneaking around. Fuck this shit. I'm flying in a helicopter and dropping grenades on everyone, because that's fun. Yeah, so, anyway. But anyways, they go into, like, yeah, you may think, like, the drug thing is, like, good. You know, I was like, well, obviously that's the choice, because, like, this guy wants to, like, basically make sweatshops, to be the economy of the new world. But then, like, she's like, yeah, the drugs will be good. And then, like, they're like, yeah, remember when, like, the Chinese raided and, like, murdered everyone in this town because they were making drugs and selling them in China? Like, it's not great. Like, your country will be attacked by other countries. Like, you know, fucking... Because there's not a lot of protection up in, you know, Nepal or whatever fake Kyrat is. Like, people can just come in. Like, the Chinese will be like, hey... We found the drugs you're making. We're going to just burn the entire city down that was making this. So, I don't know. It seems awful, no matter what your choice is in that game. So, we'll find out. There's some cool shit, though. The story's neat. I like some of the Shangri-La stuff a little bit. Because, like, the idea is that, like, you know, you can do, like, incense or drugs, and then you go on, like, a crazy trip to trippy-dippy Shangri-La land where you have a tiger that attacks people for you, but...
Yeah.
I actually didn't have too much trouble with that, but it's kind of like, all right, this isn't what I like about the game, so I just kind of have to get through it. I don't know. It's a really good game, though, obviously, but it's old. It's 2014, man. Game.
Yeah.
I loved it. All right, we got to get on, Adam.
Yeah.
Adam, before we get to the news, do you know what time it is?
What time is it? Pad time?
It's pad thai. Let me just mark the timer time on this. Oh, God. I gotta switch notepads. Sorry. John's Pad. It's time for John's Pad. Thank you for joining us here. John's got a couple things he wants to get off his pad this week. Adam?
Yeah.
I got 2 things.
Okay.
We got stupid people and stupid people.
Okay.
Do you want... They're both food related.
Interesting.
Tangentially. Do you want people that are dumb on social media for science reasons, or dumb on social media because they're idiots?
Oh, man. That's tough.
We're going to do both, but which one do you want first?
Let's do science first.
Okay, so science first. So, Adam, I posted this on Facebook, on my personal Facebook feed, my Face book, as I like to call it. there is a video that I think the United Kingdom website, The Mirror, posted a video, which is just, of course, because this is journalism now, is posted an article that is a link to an embedded version of a YouTube video, because that's news, of a guy pouring molten copper on a Big Mac. And the results are terrifying. Adam, what is terrifying about the results, do you think? As someone who's not seen this video.
I have seen this video.
Oh, you have? Well, what's terrifying about it?
I didn't really find anything that terrifying about it.
Okay.
Because it didn't really seem all that odd to me.
Yes, exactly. What do you think people thought was terrifying about it? I'm being really end around here.
They probably thought like some kind of chemical-soaked patty was repelling.
Oh, you'd be right, Adam, because that's exactly what Facebook jumped to.
Is it really?
Yes, look at this burger. People put that garbage in their bodies. Molten metal can't even melt it. I'm like, stomach acid strong, but not as strong as that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you were to pour stomach acid over it, nothing would happen either.
Yeah.
Because it would take time and heat and the stomach contraction muscles that exist for it to break that down. Not to mention it would be chewed up already because your teeth did it. Whatever. People don't know how science works. Adam, why was that burger not being burned? Adam, you're smart, and I think you know the name of the actual phenomenon that's causing this.
The leidenfrost effect?
The leidenfrost effect, Adam. You are a genius, and that's why you're my friend. I'm trying to make you feel good, but that's true. I knew you would know. The leidenfrost effect is and basically what I would say is I wouldn't do this because I don't want to hurt my hand. I don't know if I trust the leidenfrost effect enough for this, but you could probably pour that over your hand, as long, or your arm, maybe your upper arm, not your fingers, and knowing that you would probably burn your hair off your arm, but. Basically, the leidenfrost effect is when something super hot, like molten metal, comes into contact with something like a carbon-based life form or a sandwich or anything that has moisture in it. It boils the moisture basically so quickly as it gets close to it. Like just the moisture in your skin would boil so quickly, causing like a steam layer that would cause it so the molten metal doesn't actually physically touch your skin, basically, and it just kind of slides off. And of course, the leidenfrost effect doesn't last very long. And I think I've actually seen videos of people with is it molten nickel that you dip your hand in quick.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, and
like
it's
Adam Savage did it.
Exactly. It totally it's crazy to think about because you just feel the heat of this boiling metal. And you just dip your hand in it, and it's fine because it doesn't stick to you because just the moisture of the air around your hand causes a steam cushion buffer.
And usually when you do that experiment, you dip your hand in water beforehand.
Yes, you want it to be wet.
Yes.
Yes, because that will increase the efficiency of that effect. But
as I'm sure the hamburger was, it was probably steaming. So.
Yeah, it was either warm or just recent, anything really. And the bun burned. I mean, I don't understand what people are saying. It's like the bun caught on fire really quick, and the patty blackened. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then if you look at that channel, he's got like a raw T-bone steak that almost the exact same thing happens to.
Yeah.
And just people. I know I've talked about this a lot on this podcast, but junk science really bothers me.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's just chemicals. And I'm like, no, it's science. It's physics.
Right.
It's what it is. And it's just the easy explanation is, people say McDonald's is bad. And it is bad, for your body. It's not like bad for your body, but it's not good. You know what I mean? It's junk food.
Right.
That's all it is. And they're like, oh, so obviously it's like when they had that video of like someone put a McDonald's burger out for a while.
Oh yeah.
And it didn't really look that terrible.
Like a year later or something.
Yeah, like a year later, and I was like, well, yeah, because there's not a lot that's going to happen if you don't introduce bacteria to it and stuff, and you just leave it out in dry air. I don't know, It wasn't mind blowing me. I was like, yeah, this is processed food. It's got preservatives probably in the bread and everything. It's built to do that. I don't know. It's probably rotten, but it just doesn't look rotten. I don't know. The stuff like that is just like, what are you trying to prove? I guess I don't know. Anyway, Adam Hamm. That's all I have to say about that. It just bugged me that immediately that was it. Of course, also if you look at the Facebook, like someone shared that post. If you look at the comments or like the Facebook news feed about that, like a good half of it was people being like, "Dude, here's the actual science behind this, and it's actually way cooler than the dumb fake explanation that people thought." You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of how it is. Anyway, second thing, Adam.
Yes.
You know, do you ever go out to a restaurant and you look up the reviews online?
I sometimes like check to see if it has so many stars or whatever. I don't like read individual reviews very often.
Sometimes you just glance upon an original review and you just have to do it. You just have to read it. And this was one of them. This is a Google review, not a Yelp review, that I found. So I was at Capriati's Sandwich Shop. One of my favorite places to get sandwiches. They make really good hot sandwiches. Did you eat there? You got a Bobby, didn't you?
I don't.
The turkey and cranberry sauce sandwich?
So
we had to have gone there because I love that place and I live so close. They make great sandwiches. They have a capistrami, which is my favorite. It's hot pastrami, Swiss cheese, and a Russian dressing and coleslaw. It's basically like a Reuben sandwich, like a sub, and it's really good because they cook it like there, like the pastrami is cooked there. The Bobby is roasted turkey that they roast there, stuffing and cranberry sauce. Like, it's just a really good sandwich. All good. I love that place. Here's the review, Adam. I'm going to read it because it's so good. I think okay. So he starts off with a low review. I think a 1 star or 2 star. I think it's a 1 star review out of 5. That pretty much sums up my recent lunch experience at Capriati's. The ordering process was efficient, though the person taking my order exhibited the emotional range of a denizen of the undead horde on the set of The Walking Dead. On the positive side, the sub shop is located in a new building on the corner of Park and Regent, so the venue is clean and well maintained. As a corned beef aficionado, I elected to go with their acclaimed, air quotes, I'm putting those in, hot pastrami, Swiss cheese, Russian dressing, and coleslaw. When I unwrapped my sub, I was aghast at the mound of overdressed slaw slathered across the top of my sandwich. Adam, the slaw vexed the sandwich in a number of ways. I love the misuse of the word vexed. First, the moisture from the slaw turned portions of the roll into mush. Second, the slaw had too much sugar and not enough vinegar, imparting the sandwich with too much sweetness. Finally, the sodden slaw oozed out of the sandwich with every bite, making the consumption of the sub a sloppy proposition. A well-prepared sub can elevate a sandwich to a lofty height. Exhibit 1, the Rachel from Staltzy's Deli. But in this case, the slaw is the fatal flaw of the capistrami. The quality of the corned beef also disappointed. It just lacked to unctuous flavor of its counterpart at the aforementioned Staltzy's. I did not see any Swiss cheese on my sandwich, but it is likely all the goopy slaw obfuscated the cheese. In addition, the Russian dressing had that fresh out of the bottle taste. No thanks. So I will return to Capriati's, my magic culinary 8-ball says. Very doubtful. I feel I'd have a more enjoyable dining experience at the nearby OOS Madison or across Park Street at Fraboni's. Whew, man.
Yeah.
This is like a cheap sub shop.
Yeah.
Adam, the slaw vexed the sandwich.
Sandwich just didn't know what to do with it, man.
Yes.
It was vexed.
Yes. Actually, my coworker who I shared this with did not know what the word vexed meant.
Yeah.
But vexed is it's an interesting word. It's difficult or frustrating to deal with, annoyed or worried, or debated at discussed at length. It's not typically used. An inanimate object vexing another inanimate object is definitely not the normal way you'd want to use that. So, I just love
talking about the Vex in Destiny.
That's
robots.
true. That's true. But I mean, like you could say the slaw on the sandwich vexed you, because it's kind of a, I don't know. Anyway, vexing is people talking to one another usually. So you gotta have a person in there. Anyway. I love when people write reviews like this, because you can find reviews like this that are just insane. It's like, who is this person who spends all of this time and their obvious literary genius, with the goopy slaw obfuscating the cheese? I mean, Jesus.
Yeah, I hate when that happens.
Anyway, I would give that sandwich a 10 out of 10. It's my favorite sandwich they make. Adam, if you want a hot deli sandwich that is sloppy and full of like ingredients, it's just a mess to eat, and it's delicious. That's what you get there. That's what I love about it. It's just a hot street sandwich that's messy and delicious.
That sounds too bad.
Yeah, clearly this guy wanted like fucking straight out of the bottle taste Russian dressing. What does that even mean? It was pre-prepared Russian dressing. I'm sorry they didn't make it from scratch at the restaurant. They used a sauce that was pre-made. It's a fucking chain store. Like this, they have like 20 or 30 locations in the Midwest. It's like, it's not a, you know what I mean? Like, this isn't fucking, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, people like that vex me, Adam, and that's John's pad.
Nice.
All right, Adam, we got a little bit of time. We got a lot of news to get through.
Yeah.
Although there was not a lot to talk about. But there is, kind of. Because a lot happened. Because it's GDC week. The Game Developer Awards are tonight, but I don't have any of those dealios. Adam, first thing, PlayStation Vue, nationwide.
Yeah.
Starting at $30
Yeah.
in the new markets. Although you wouldn't want to get the $30 one. Because I think for $35 you get a lot more good channels. Like...
I was looking at it, and I think actually everything I want was in like the cheapest one.
There you go. But I mean, it's basically a good way to get basic cable. Like you got your Cartoon Network, which I fucking don't get for some reason in my base package.
Yeah.
But it's in the fucking cheapest package of this one. But I want to get my USA. I want to get my Sci-Fi. I want to get my TNT, TBS. Just the basic channels, like a Discovery Channel. And
I think all those are in the slim one.
Oh, I know. Well, I want sports stuff too, so.
Okay,
yeah. The question I do have, though, is it didn't seem like it was very clear on whether or not it would have, like, the local, like, Fox Sports affiliates for where you're at. Because, like, if I would want Fox Sports North, because honestly, I know this doesn't apply to you, Adam, but for people that watch sports... One of the biggest reasons to get cable is to watch sports, because it's like the only thing you watching it live has value. You know what I mean? Whereas like, with regular TV shows, you just DVR it and watch it later, or you just buy it on Amazon, you know what I mean? Because they sell it usually same day or next day, so it's like, is it really worth it? But if you're way into sports, like if I want to watch WWE Raw, or if I want to watch basketball games or Brewers baseball games, I'm able to. With my cable. And if I was able to do it at PlayStation Vue for $30 a month, which is cheaper than I pay for cable, it would be kind of worth it to do that. Only problem is bandwidth concerns, because, streaming video isn't as perfect as video out of your cable is. Bandwidth caps, I don't have to deal with that, but you would. Adam, correct?
No, like, it lists the bandwidth cap, but... It's not
an enforced cap?
Yeah, it's not enforced.
I want to say this. People like to give every cable company they have shit. But I'm going to give Charter some props here. Because Charter came out and said, we're never going to have caps. That is ludicrous.
That'd be nice.
Basically, they said, it's going to be case by case, because we have how much data everyone uses. That's collected. You know what I mean? We can tell. So if someone's downloading... they said, like, if someone's downloading thousands and thousands of gigabytes every month, will like force them to upgrade to a business connection. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, if you're a normal heavy user, you're gonna be fine. But if it's obvious that you're like hosting a website out of your apartment, you know, not using a business line, and you're using a crazy amount of bandwidth up, then they're going to talk to you. But it's not like, you know what I mean? Like, that's the way to do it, like a normal human beings would do. But yeah, so PlayStation Vue is a cable alternative, basically. It'd be interesting to see how the DVR functionality works. I'd heard some firsthand reports that it was spotty, that it didn't always work perfectly, which seems kind of messed up because, again, DVR is one of the biggest reasons I have cable, because it just you find the shows that you want to watch and tell it to record every time that show comes on, and then you just come home, look at your DVR, and like, fuck, here's a new episode of South Park, and just watch it. You know, it's great. Like, I couldn't imagine if you had trouble with that working. It's really frustrating. It would be really frustrating. So that happened. 7-day free trial with that, so that's kind of the nice thing too. You can just try it, and if you don't like it or it doesn't work very well, then you don't have to buy it. And there's no contract, so it seems like a really killer deal to get TV, you know, and not that like I'm going to get this because I have a sweet deal for my cable right now, but I feel like this is going to push cable companies to be like, hey, we need to start offering more consumer friendly packages, you know? Like HBO Go forced HBO to make HBO Now. You know, they're like, we can't not have HBO Now because people just want to watch HBO and nobody wants to subscribe to cable for it. So, you know, they have to have it. Next news item, Adam.
Yep.
Rocket League cross-platform play is coming. Full cross-platform. And this is not just Rocket League. It just is the flagship of having it on the Xbox One. But Microsoft, during one of their pre-GDC talks, was like, hey, we're opening up the Xbox One. We want people to be able to play on the Xbox One. And they specifically said they want Windows 10 PCs to be able to play with Xbox One. So I'm thinking, you know, Minecraft on Xbox One and PC, you can play together. You know, we're talking, you know, all of the Microsoft releases coming out on they're trying to build their brand here, but they're also, you know, dropped like and other consoles. So it seems like cross-platform play, because I believe Sony was definitely like, hey, we'll open up our stuff if you will. You know what I mean? Because it just helps everyone to be able to play everywhere. You know what I mean? It helps game developers like it because it increases the user bases for their multiplayer stuff by a lot. You know, you're not splitting that up, and you know, console to console, there isn't really much of an advantage. You know what I mean? In like a shooter or something, I could see console to PC being kind of weird, but you know, other than that, Rocket League seems perfect. I mean, you play that with a controller no matter where you are, and it's just a fun game. So I think that's pretty neat. The barriers are breaking down, and it probably has a lot to do with how poor the Xbox One did. You know what I mean? Like, it's just just didn't sell. You know, they hit it wrong, and everyone predicted this, Adam. We predicted this. Yeah. You know, when the Xbox One was coming out, it's like, man, they're focusing on that Kinect a lot, huh? Nobody wants that. And the Xbox cost $100 more and had a peripheral nobody wanted. So, yeah, it didn't do so well. Speaking of $400, is what the PlayStation cost. PlayStation VR got a release date and a price point.
Cool.
Did you hear what the price was, Adam?
I have not for this one.
You really haven't?
I really haven't.
Don't look in the doc.
I shan't.
I want you to guess what the PlayStation VR headset will cost you.
I think it's supposed to be like kind of cheap if they want to use it for. I'm gonna say, like $200.
$200.
Yeah.
You are insane. $400, Adam.
Oh.
$200 cheaper than an Oculus Rift, which is going to be $600. And that comes with everything, but you need to have a PlayStation camera.
Oh.
So $460, because that's what the retail of the PlayStation camera is. I understand why they didn't bundle it in, because they'd been selling that peripheral separately, and it would be really shitty if you're like, hey, I got a VR, and I got 2 PlayStation cameras now, so great, you know. Yeah. And it's not that expensive a peripheral. It's actually on Amazon for $45 when I looked at it. So it's kind of one of those things that's like, well, you know, it's an extra bit. And it doesn't come with motion controllers, but I guess you don't need those to play. It has a separate processing unit box. Little box, they said. I forget what they called it. And so that was people were really interesting. The processing unit isn't like a PS4 upgrade, they said. This isn't going to have GPU or CPU power for the PS4. It's not an expansion unit or upgrade. And they said it's not really accessible to the developer. It's just, this is what they're telling us. We don't really know. But I guess it handles the 3D audio, you know, for games. And display of the social screen, which is, the idea is they want the ability for you to have the headset on and it display to the headset and the TV at the same time. So people can see what you see, basically. Mirror mode. And then there's also a separate mode where it can show 2 different screens, basically. So, yeah, the idea is that they want people to be able to be sitting with the headset on and headphones in and see something, where people watching it see something else. Maybe like a third-person view of what's going on, you know. Yeah. Kind of an interesting, like, social way to have the game work, you know what I mean? They're saying basically you're not going to get Uncharted 4 visuals at 60 hertz at 1080p in the headset, and then render out another 1220 by 720 buffer. You're going to have to scale things back, you know, in a separate mode. So it really does seem like it's not going to have the graphics power that the PS4 has, because they were very adamant that this thing has to run at 60 hertz. So you're not going to be able... They said, like, you submit a game where the frame rate's dropping below 60, we're not going to certify it for PlayStation VR. You know what I mean? Because, like, people say, like, anything below 60 frames per second is noticeable in VR. Like, it feels choppy. And it makes people sick, basically, because just your brain can't handle it. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, PlayStation VR being $400 is affordable. Like, the fact that I could spend $460 and have VR, because I have a PS4, you know, and people are like, whoa, you know, a PS4 costs $300 and this is $460, so that's $760 total dollars. And like, yeah, but an Oculus is $600, and I have to buy a $300 video card to play it. You know, my PC's good other than the video card and the USB slots, so I'd have to buy a PCI USB 3.0 card, but those are like $30. That's not really super expensive, but you know, it's just like I'm not able to play that either, to be honest, you know, like straight out of the box. So I'd have to spend basically a PlayStation 4's worth on a new video card. I mean, I don't know. They obviously priced this to sell. You know what I mean? Because $400 is in the realm of normal people. You know what I mean? I think anything over $500 becomes a lot of money. So I think 400 or even 460 is the sweet spot there, and they hit it. So good. I don't know. It'll be interesting. They announced a game. Star Wars Battlefront VR will be exclusively on the PlayStation VR. And they didn't really show much of that, but that's going to be a launch game, I guess. Coming out this fall, so. That sounds kind of awesome as a Star Wars fan, because I feel like I didn't like Battlefront very much, you know? Did you play any of that?
Battlefront?
Yeah.
No, I played like a teensy bit at a friend's house. It was kind of neat. I was playing one where there were a bunch of hero people who were like rotated in and out.
Yeah.
And it was pretty cool.
Yeah. But, I just couldn't get it. It seemed way too, like, stripped down to me.
Yeah.
Like, there wasn't a lot of leveling mechanic, and not that you need that, but it seemed like the card packs were weird as a way to, like, have upgrades. It was like, I don't like this. Like, it's not enough of a shooter RPG for me, and the gameplay seemed good looking, but I don't know. It just didn't feel deep to me in the way that Battlefield games have felt in the past. I don't know. You know, because like Battlefield 4 just feels so massive as a game. Like we played a lot of that. Like just being able to get up on top of buildings and snipe down at people or fly a helicopter over. I didn't really see that in the Star Wars Battlefront maps that I played. Like there are some cool, epic, large moments, but it just didn't feel as open-ended. You know how combats could happen to me. I don't know, but anyway. Make it so I feel like I'm a stormtrooper on the ground, you know, shooting my blaster. That adds an infinite more interest to me. You know what I mean? Like, that's the true dream to me, to be able to run around with the rebels shooting Darth Vader. You know what I mean? Like, fuck yeah. Childhood dream. Yeah, so that sounds cool. Adam, South by Southwest also happened this week.
Oh, did it?
Yes.
I was unaware.
Same week, all the fucking hipster douchebags were either in San Francisco or in Texas, so they were all out of everyone else's hair for a week. But they showed the first episode of Preacher there. Adam Hamm.
Oh yeah.
Yep, and there's a couple there's a first look. They had a couple screenshots of characters, and I read a review of somebody who saw the first episode. And they said it looks really good. They said it felt good. And they said that Cassidy was incredible. And I was like, okay, I'm liking this. Like, I guess that storyline with that guy beating his kid, you know, like the preacher thing, right? That's like the first episode. That's like, here's the pilot. Like, here's a dilemma for this main character to deal with before the shit goes down, basically. They said it's a little different than the comics. I guess the Genesis thing kind of blasts through a bunch of other people in like a montage. Like, to kind of just show off some stuff, I guess. Before it hits him, which I believe is the end of the first episode, basically. So you get to see a little bit of Custer acting as a preacher. They said the guy who plays him is like perfect. Like, he's just kind of got that alluring charm yet cold-hearted murderer, kind of a little bit, you know, that mix that Custer had, where it was like he could be this warm, nice guy, you know, as a friend and a preacher, and that, and he could, you know, at the turn of a button or turn of a knob, just become fucking killer guy. You know, like, I will get shit done. You know, which sounds awesome. They said Tulip, the lady who played Tulip's really good. She had a real good vibe. And the guy that got to play Cassidy had the audience laughing quite a bit. So I'm kind of excited. Seth Rogen at the conference said, I guess a lot of really rich and powerful people in Hollywood tried to crack at this, and they failed, so it fell to us to make this. Yeah, him and Seth Goldberg, so... but they said, Seth Rogen said, him and his partner, Evan Goldberg, you know, who did Superbad, they wrote, you know, all these awesome movies, and they said the first thing they did when they got to Hollywood was like, we want to make Preacher. Like, Preacher is fucking awesome, and we want to make it, so. Are you excited? AMC, man.
Yeah.
I get that channel. I'll have to record all this, but that is debuting in May, so... I'm really looking forward to it, and I hope it's as good as the comics. It'll be hard, because the comics are insanely good. Right, Adam? Some of the best?
Mm-hmm.
Is that your favorite comic graphic novel series, possibly? Preacher?
I don't know if it's my favorite.
My favorite might be Transmetropolitan. I fucking love that shit. I really like
as well.
100 Bullets is good. I didn't like... 100 Bullets dragged itself out a little bit, I think.
Yeah, it did.
In some spots.
Towards the end.
Yes, yeah. Towards the end it was like, okay, there's some really cool moments, but there's also some, like, gratuitous character wankery that happens where you're just like, okay, I don't really care anymore about this guy. I already kind of got his deal, 10 pages ago, but Preacher has some of that too, to be fair. But I think the base story in Preacher is just incredible. Like the Jesse Custer, because, girlfriend Tulip, on again, off again kind of girlfriend, ex-junkie, and her horrible their horrible mutual friend Cassidy, the junky vampire Irish guy, just dealing with the God returning to Earth in a terrible way, I guess. Or not God, I guess, but the power of God returning to Earth.
Yeah.
In a quite terrible way. So, I don't know. I'm really looking forward to this show. So, I'm glad to hear that at least some of the early audience reactions have been positive, especially from people that have been into the comics. So, yeah, that's really awesome. I really like Saga.
Yeah.
And Why the Last Man, which are both
Why the Last Man is really
Brian K. Vaughan series. And that guy's fucking great. I think, is it Brian Vaughan? Who did Why the Last Man? I don't want to get his name wrong. Brian Vaughan. Sorry, I don't want to sell this guy short. Brian K. Vaughan, comic book television. Yep, Why the Last Man, Saga. Yeah, all right. Guy's great. And I love it. And I'm sure Why the Last Man will be made in something. I know it was going to be a movie, right? Mm-hmm. Starring, what's his name? Adam, come on. Work with me here.
Yeah.
The guy everybody hates.
Guy everybody hates.
I can't even fucking think of his goddamn name. So I have to look up a movie that he was in, so I can look up this actor's name because I'm blanking like a fucking. The Boofster, Adam.
Oh, Shia
LaBeouf was going to be the main character.
Okay.
And everyone was not into that.
No.
Yes, I agree. I agree. Well, actually, he could have done it all right. You know what I mean? Like, whatever. If it's done right, it's done right. He's not a terrible actor, so, you know, he just is a terrible kind of weird person, you know? So, yeah, I would love to see that made, too, because that's such a great science fiction story of what would happen if every woman on Earth died, or every man on Earth died.
Yeah.
You know, and the society is basically crumbles with half of the population just instantly dying, you know. And of course, why Yorick, the last man, survived, and a guy up in the space station. Did you read that whole series though?
I read everything except the last couple issues, I think.
So did you hear the reason behind the what happened? Basically, their science explanation.
No, I don't think
it's
so.
real bad. It's real pseudoscience-y. And I was like, okay, somebody read an article about a theory some crazy science person had about. God, I don't even remember. God, let me look it up, Adam.
I believe it's terrible.
Oh my God, I just want to read the science buzzword that it was. Canceled film adaptation, New Line Cinema. 2013. It still had a script that was close to being done, so it could be done in 2014. And they said the rights will revert to the co-creator because they didn't do anything with it. And they said it's not happening, and the creators now have the rights back. So, never mind. Explanations. Oh, on what happened, the plague. Oh, there's a number. Oh, okay, never mind. I got it. It's all good. So, I thought that there was an explanation like that it gives you, but I was thinking of the final explanation. I guess there's a bunch of explanations proposed in that, and it doesn't really tell you what it was. The one I was thinking of was the doctor who they try and find's theory that was like nature destroyed it because men were no longer necessary, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
To continue humanity as it was. Yeah. That's it, really. And then some was like, they mentioned like a mystic amulet and some sort of cult curse thing, you know? And they said like, of course the doctor said magic, of course, is just science that we yet do not understand, you know, because that's what people called magic back in the day, you know, it was just science. And there's a failed clandestine attack on China with a chemical agent used to prevent women from conceiving male children, to cripple their economy. Something went wrong. and it killed all males instead of just unborn males. And of course, the little footnote says that in the abridged script after the completion of the comic book series for the movie, that is the cause that he goes with. So that was probably the most likely one, because the other one seemed really pseudoscience-y to me, so that makes more sense to me. But anyway, really great, and the cause isn't really even the important part of the story. I guess they were talking about it was like some sort of I forget what it's called, like bioharmony, you know what I mean? Like all of these, because they talked about like how all of these animals, you know, like how like cicadas all kind of know how to wake up at the same time. You know, there's just something beyond science there that just basically the Y chromosome was like, we're broken, and then it broke for everyone basically. I don't know, really weird. I was like, I don't know. I didn't like that explanation, so I'm glad that like there's a chemical attack that was possible. I was like, okay, that makes more sense. You know what I mean? Because of course, the demise of humanity as we know it was caused by ourselves. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And that's going to do it for this week's episode.
Yes, it will.
Born in the 80s, huh? Demise of society brought upon by ourselves. Adam Hamm. Do we have any other? That's it. That's all the news.
Yeah.
Except for some other weird news stories that we don't have to get into because they're time fillers if we run out of stuff to talk about. Anyway. Well, Adam, what's your word of the week before we sign off?
My word of the week is drain snake.
Drain snake.
Yeah.
Not a word. It's 2 words.
Okay. Plumbing.
Plumbing. Ah, yes. So go out there, be a man, fix a drain.
Plumb.
Adam, what's the website?
The website is bornintheeighties.net.
Still not renewed.
It will be very soon.
Okay, awesome. Glad to hear it. Because if you can't do it, I'll do it. Because I don't want to lose the name.
We won't.
Okay. Because it's a good name. We agreed upon it.
We still got
in
nearly
3 hours.
No problem.
All right. Just letting you know.
I know. No, I know. It's happening.
Good. So, bornintheeighties.net. Like, comment, subscribe. iTunes. Awesome.
Yeah.
And what should the listeners do?
They should give us 5 stars.
And
tell your friends.
Tell your friends.
Yeah.
That's it, man. That's how we spread. Like the plague virus.
Yeah.
In the Plague Inc. game.
Plague Inc.
Plague Inc., man, will be the plague that ruins humanity. I mean, if you listen to some of those Tyler episodes from way back, you will be ruined. There's a couple of those blue episodes, as I like to call it. The blue period of Born in the 80s, I like to call it. But thanks for listening, and we will catch you next week, as always. Goodbye.
Bye. Yeah.
Okay, you're in studio mode. I'm just going to talk a bit. All right, Adam, you talk. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
It says this live event will begin in a few moments, so I can't hear it yet, but I'm speaking your normal Adam voice.
This is my normal Adam voice, how I normally Adam talk.
Ooh, Adam talking. Mm-hmm. Play, you damn bastard. Sorry.
It's like you're always stuck in second gear.
Okay. Alright, I'm listening. Alright, we sound good. Okay, mic checks are done. Let me find my newts. Bite newts. Oh. Adam, what did you play? What did you do?
Play the Division.
Okay. I guess I'll write it down.
Uh-huh.
I just don't want to forget.
I played Towerfall.
More Tower. We should talk about Towerfall since you're way into that game.
Okay. Watched a little bit of Transistor being played.
Okay, let's not talk about that. Did you see any movies or anything?
I don't think so.
Okay. You got plenty of news to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
And John's pad.
I already watched some Death Note.
Did you watch Death Note? Okay, I'm ready to go.
Me too.
Let's just do this. Let's get in it. Let's get on it. Let's get in it. On it.
With it. Oh.
Whoa. Yeah.
No, it's not things that I've watched or played, but
Yeah.
I did get really sick, and not really like super sick. It was just a thing. It was annoying,
All right, we'll talk about that.
and I had a plumbing issue.
Okay. All right, Adam.